Is it a bird? Is it a plane? It's not another Superman game being announced. Again. If you follow me on anything, you know that I've been championing the call for a new Superman game for a while now. So much so that myself and a couple friends of mine got together and pitched you the perfect Superman game a few years ago during At Home Comic Con. Check that out here. And while there are still many naysayers claiming that a good Superman game is just not possible, game developers, fans, modders have shared concepts that disproves that and taps the potential of what a Man of Steel video game could be. See Undefeated, GTA 5 mods, and Megaton Rainfall to get an idea of what a good Superman game can look like. The latest example comes from a Mr. Tyson Butler. Mr. Butler took it upon himself to mod the Unreal Engine 5 and give us an idea of what a modern Superman game can look like. I've been seeing clips of this tech demo making its rounds around Twitter for a couple weeks now, and sure, it looks cool, but it's one thing to make a game look pretty with fancy animations and realistic cape physics. I want to know what it plays like. Is it any fun? So last night, I finally downloaded the Unreal Engine 5 Superman Flight tech demo, and I gotta tell you, the son of a gun cracked the code. Flight in video games has been attempted many times before with varying degrees of success, not counting any aircraft-based flying. And no one has really nailed flying in a way that makes you say, wow, this is really fun and an engaging component of this video game. But to be fair, I don't think anyone has ever said that out loud to themselves while playing a video game. That would be weird. Like, why are you talking like that? What are you trying to prove? But I'm sure someone has said something along those lines about swinging in Spider-Man 2 or gliding and ziplining in Arkham Knight. We've gotten close with games like Lego Batman, DC Universe Online, Marvel's Avengers, and you know what? I gotta give some credit to Superman Returns. That game did not hold back with letting the player absolutely rip through the sky and break through the sound barrier as you soared through the skies of Metropolis. But flying in those games didn't reach a level of fun that made it memorable and a standout feature. The controls felt either a little too stiff or what you wanted to do didn't always translate to the game, so I never felt like I had a one-to-one connection to their flying mechanics. But worst of all, they just got boring fast. Flying was just the thing you needed to do to get to your destination. A little intermission in between objectives where you can pull out your phone and check Twitter. Don't text and fly. But with the Unreal Engine 5 flight tech demo, flying is finally fun. By far, the most impressive thing about the Superman Flight tech demo is how precise the controls are for how fast you're flying. You can effortlessly fly through alleyways, fly underneath bridges and highways, turn sharp corners, all without impeding your speed. And my god, is there a sense of speed. It's the opposite of swinging as Spider-Man in one of his many video games, where in those games you feel the weight of Spider-Man pull down on the web line. You feel his momentum build up with a successful rhythm. In this tech demo, you feel completely weightless and like this unstoppable force that just easily cuts through the air. And you'd imagine that that would be boring, right? Uninteresting. But it's not. It was instantly addicting. I couldn't get enough of zooming past buildings, threading the needle through alleyways, bridges, and highways, having near misses with pillars, all without any type of learning curve. The controls are natural, and they immediately clicked. Weirdly, it gave me this sense of freedom that I've never felt in a game before. I felt overwhelmingly powerful, like I can be anywhere at any time, and that's perfect for a Superman video game. Keep in mind, this is a very bare bones experience. It's just flying around the city with nothing to do but soar through the sky. I spent maybe 45 minutes just doing that, and it never got old. Now, imagine a full proper Superman game with enemies to fight, people to rescue, missions to complete, destinations to get to. This tech demo is a very promising foundation. If you've ever played DC Universe Online and tried the flying mechanics, the ones in this tech demo feel like those, but turned up to 11. It's much faster, the controls are tighter, and it feels unrestrained, like there's nothing fighting back against you. The second you take off the ground, you are piercing through the wind. Obviously, if you bump into buildings, cars, or highways, the player character will stop himself from absolutely decimating whatever is in front of him. And I think there's some room there to build on the idea of having the player be more mindful of his surroundings. As it stands, having the fake Superman just kind of do this quick animation when flying into something is not much of a penalty. Many people, including myself, like the idea of Metropolis having a health bar in the Superman Returns video game, and I think it should make a comeback in a modern Superman game. I think having the player be conscious of not causing too much collateral damage would be an effective way of keeping one engaged in the moment-to-moment gameplay. Superman Returns had a good idea going on, it just wasn't executed perfectly. I don't think this should replace a health bar dedicated to Superman. Quick side note, previous Superman games have had a proper health bar, and it never broke the experience for me. A depleted health bar doesn't necessarily need to mean death. It could just mean that he's incapacitated and didn't meet his goal, resulting in a failed state. But to get back to the Metropolis health bar thing, movies, comics, and TV shows like to tackle the idea of Superman's public image and his relationship to the citizens of Metropolis. Hell, the world, really. And I think a video game is fertile ground to take that concept to the next level, because video games are all about player choice. So what better way to challenge the audience with this idea? You're no longer just a spectator as this narrative unfolds itself, you have on the red trunks. So what are you gonna do about it? I wanna lean into this idea even further. I can't understate how powerful the flying mechanics in this game made me feel, and it makes me wonder if that approach should be applied to every aspect of a Superman video game. Because, like I said, flying is fun in this demo. It may not be as dynamic as web swinging as Spider-Man or using your gadgets to quietly take out a room of thugs in a Batman game, but I still had a blast flying. I think it would be okay for a Superman game to be easy. I mean, it would be fun to feel powerful and like a god, right? We've all had power fantasies. Something like that could make it stand out amongst all the other superhero games and have it be a true Superman experience. No one ever complained that they felt too powerful in Hulk Ultimate Destruction. I would argue that dying in that game was annoying and impeded the experience. I'm okay with a Superman game that lets you absolutely school enemies. The challenge can come from the choices you face as the character and how they impact those around you. They would change cutscenes, dialogue options, generally how the story plays out. That's a fundamental part of Superman. The choices he makes with the abilities he has. He's just a guy trying to do the right thing. So if the hook of the game is you are Superman, all of his powers are there for you without any limitations, fulfill that role to the best of your ability and see how the universe around you responds to that. Now that I think of it, I think it would be awesome if the game didn't have a fail state, no game over screen. Instead, the world is constantly changing and reacting to your choices, to what you do and don't accomplish. Is that crazy? And yes, that could potentially mean that this hypothetical Superman game could turn into one of those evil Superman stories if the player decides to go on a rampage. I know, I hate the idea, but hey, there's a lot of people that are into that kind of Superman story. Personally, I've had my fill. I don't know, what do you guys think of that idea? A Superman game where you can't die or fail a mission in a traditional way that leads to a mission fail screen. But friends, loved ones, NPCs, the universe would adapt to the outcomes of your day-to-day superheroing. And not done in a Telltale sort of way or one of those narrative-based games where the story is affected mainly from your dialogue choices, but instead from your real-time decisions. Did you make it in time to stop the boat from crashing into the dock? Did you save everyone from the burning building? When's the last time you visited Ma and Pa Kent? I didn't mean to turn this video into another pitch for a Superman video game. I want to highlight what this Unreal Engine 5 tech demo accomplishes. and I say Mr. Butler has nailed flight in a way that feels perfect for Superman. A couple small touches that I appreciated is the way you can change your pose to different classic Superman poses as you fly and hover. And you can also dodge in different directions, which would be perfect for dogfighting sections as you take on some alien spaceships or LexCorp drones and stuff like that. The size of the city is also perfect for the speed in which you fly in. Before, I've thought that limiting a Superman game to just Metropolis would be too small scale for him. Like you would be able to go from one end of the city to the other in just seconds, and that would make the open world seem underwhelming. But that's not the case here. The level of detail that the Unreal Engine 5 allows this city to have makes it feel vast, and like every city block is different from the last. I'd still want some missions to take place in space, Smallville, the Fortress of Solitude, you know, classic Superman locales. You can even run in super speed. I say super speed in quotes because it's really just the basic running animation sped up a bit, making it more of a sprint really. Not necessarily faster than a speeding bullet, but certainly than the average guy. But this is serviceable. I don't need a Superman game to have deep super speed mechanics when it comes to running. I'd rather a Flash game really go out in that aspect. For Superman, I'd rather have the flying be focused on when it comes to traversal. Mr. Butler has figured out a huge component of a Superman game. This flight demo is not just a great foundation, these mechanics should be directly implemented into the Superman game we eventually get. I'd love to see what Mr. Butler would come up with in terms of a combat system, and all of Superman's other abilities. That's a little more ambitious, so I don't know if he would update the tech demo with something like that, but the passion is definitely there. If you're like me and have been itching for a modern Superman game, do yourself a favor and check this out. Just be wary of your PC specs. This demo can be pretty demanding of your system. I may not have the fanciest PC, but I'm here for the full package, so give me the full experience. Let's check it out. What